Ladies and gentlemen, time is the most precious resource we have. Yet, it is also the most easily wasted. Every day we are given 24 hours. And each hour is a chance to move closer to our dreams, to make an impact, or to grow as individuals. Yet, how often do we find ourselves scrolling mindlessly through social media, binge watching shows, or procrastinating tasks that matter most? Time is the most valuable resource we have, yet it is unlike money or material possessions because it cannot be earned back once it is spent. Every second that passes is gone forever, slipping quietly into the past, leaving no chance for retrieval. Many people underestimate the significance of this resource, assuming there will always be more time tomorrow, next week, or next year. But the truth is that the future is uncertain, and the moments we have now are irreplaceable. Recognizing this fundamental truth is the first step toward living a life of purpose and meaning. Every day we are granted the same 24 hours as every other person on this planet, regardless of age, background, or social status. What separates those who achieve great things from those who feel unfulfilled is not necessarily talent or opportunity, but how they use those hours. People who understand the value of time approach each day with intentionality, planning their hours carefully and dedicating themselves to tasks that matter. In contrast, those who treat time as infinite often find themselves looking back with regret, realizing that countless hours were wasted on trivial or unproductive activities. Time is also precious because it is intimately tied to the experiences and relationships that define our lives. Every meaningful conversation, every act of kindness, every moment of learning, and every step toward a goal requires time. Neglecting these moments in favor of fleeting distractions robs life of its richness. While money can be regained and possessions replaced, the hours spent with loved ones, the lessons learned, and the personal growth achieved through dedication cannot be recreated once lost. This makes awareness and mindfulness in how we spend our time not just important but essential. Finally, understanding that time is precious encourages us to prioritize what truly matters. It pushes us to differentiate between activities that bring long-term benefits and those that only offer short-lived satisfaction. It motivates us to invest in personal growth, nurture relationships, and pursue meaningful work instead of being consumed by endless, unproductive routine. By treating time as a finite and invaluable resource, we begin to live with intention, purpose, and appreciation for the present, recognizing that each moment is an opportunity that should never be taken for granted. Idle habits are one of the biggest threats to living a purposeful life because they consume time without providing any meaningful return. Activities such as mindless scrolling on social media, binge watching television, or endlessly checking messages may seem harmless, but they gradually chip away at the hours we could be using to grow, learn, or create. These habits often disguise themselves as relaxation or free time, yet in reality they contribute to a slow erosion of our potential. What begins as a small indulgence can easily become a routine, and before we realize it, weeks, months, or even years have passed with little to show for them. The danger of idle habits lies not only in the time wasted, but also in the mindset they cultivate. When we become accustomed to distractions and passive engagement, our ability to focus diminishes. Our brains crave stimulation, and constant exposure to quick, easy entertainment conditions us to seek immediate gratification. This makes it harder to commit to tasks that require sustained attention or effort, such as studying, developing skill, or pursuing a meaningful project. Over time, this pattern of behavior can stunt personal development and leave us feeling frustrated, unlived from hominess and harassment. This becomes so frustrating, unclear, and unknown that another consequence of idle habits is their subtle effect on mental and emotional well-being. Excessive passive activities can lead to feelings of emptiness, boredom, or anxiety, even while giving the illusion of filling time. When we avoid challenging or purposeful work, we miss opportunities to achieve satisfaction and growth. Our minds thrive on challenges, learning, and progress. Without these, we risk stagnation. The more time we spend passively engaging with the world, the less time we spend actively shaping it, and the more our potential diminishes, quietly but steadily. Breaking free from idle habits requires conscious awareness and deliberate action. It begins with observing how we spend our hours and identifying patterns that are unproductive or distracting. Replacing these habits with intentional activities, such as reading, exercising, learning a new skill, or spending quality time with loved ones, transforms time from a wasted commodity into a resource for growth. By recognizing the danger of idle habits and actively resisting them, we reclaim control over our lives, ensuring that every hour contributes to our progress, fulfillment, and long-term success. Purposeful living is the art of directing every action, thought, and decision toward a meaningful goal. It is about living with intention rather than drifting passively through life. When we live purposefully, every moment gains significance, and even small actions contribute to a larger vision. Purpose provides a compass, guiding our choices and helping us distinguish between what is essential and what is trivial. Without purpose, life can feel like an endless series of routines and distractions, leaving us unfulfilled despite constant activity. Purposeful living transforms ordinary moments into building blocks for personal growth, achievement, and lasting impact. Living purposefully begins with understanding one's values, passions, and goals. It requires reflection and honesty to identify what truly matters, rather than what society or others dictate. For some, purpose may be tied to a career, a creative pursuit, or intellectual growth. For others, it may be found in nurturing relationships, helping others, or contributing to their community. Regardless of its form, purpose acts as a driving force, providing motivation and resilience during challenges. When we are connected to a clear purpose, mundane tasks gain meaning, setbacks are reframed as lessons, and every effort feels directed towards something larger than ourselves. Purposeful living also involves consistency and discipline. It is not enough to have a goal, we must align our daily actions with it. Like a river carving its path through the landscape, steady and persistent effort gradually creates significant impact. Each decision, from how we spend our time to the habits we cultivate, either moves us closer to our purpose or drifts us further away. By consciously choosing to live intentionally, we prevent ourselves from being swept along by the currents of distraction, procrastination, or external pressures. Purposeful living requires both planning and reflection, ensuring that our days are not spent merely existing, but progressing toward meaningful outcomes. Finally, purposeful living enhances fulfillment and overall well-being. When we dedicate our time to meaningful endeavors, we experience a sense of achievement, satisfaction, and alignment with our inner values. Purpose provides clarity in moments of confusion and direction when faced with choices. It also inspires others, as people are drawn to those who live with conviction and passion. By cultivating a life of purpose, we not only maximize our own potential, but also positively influence the world around us, creating ripples of impact that extend far beyond ourselves. Self-reflection is the practice of pausing to examine one's thoughts, actions, and decisions with honesty and clarity. It is a powerful tool that allows individuals to assess whether their behaviors align with their goals and values. Without self-reflection, people often move through life on autopilot, repeating patterns and making choices without understanding their consequences. By dedicating time to introspection, we can identify areas of strength and weakness, recognize missed opportunities, and gain insights that guide us toward more intentional living. Self-reflection is not a sign of weakness or doubt. Rather, it is a conscious effort to understand oneself and to grow continuously. Through self-reflection, individuals can uncover the underlying reasons behind their habits, both productive and destructive. For example, understanding why we procrastinate or succumb to distractions helps us address these behaviors at their root, rather than simply treating the symptoms. Similarly, reflecting on moments of success and achievement allows us to recognize effective strategies and replicate them in the future. This process fosters a deeper awareness of our motivations, desires, and priorities, enabling us to make choices that are aligned with our long-term objectives rather than short-term impulses. Self-reflection also encourages accountability and personal responsibility. When we take the time to honestly evaluate our actions, we can acknowledge mistakes without shame and celebrate progress without arrogance. This balance of humility and recognition strengthens our character and enhances decision-making. It prevents us from blaming external circumstances for our setbacks and instead empowers us to take control of our life. The insights gained through self-reflection provide a roadmap for improvement, helping us refine our habits, refine our goals, and align our actions with our personal vision of success and fulfillment. Finally, self-reflection fosters emotional intelligence and resilience. By regularly examining our responses to challenges, setbacks, and successes, we develop a better understanding of our emotions and reactions. This awareness enables us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. In this way, reflection becomes not just a tool for personal growth, but a guide for navigating life with clarity, purpose, and confidence. Investing in growth means dedicating time, energy, and resources to activities that enhance one's knowledge, skills, and personal development. Growth is not accidental. It requires conscious effort and commitment. Every hour spent learning a new skill, reading a meaningful book, or exploring a new idea contributes to building a stronger, more capable self By prioritizing growth, individuals create opportunities for advancement in their careers, relationships, and personal goals. Each investment in oneself compounds over time, producing results that are far greater than the initial effort, much like planting a seed and nurturing it to eventually bear fruit. Personal growth is also deeply tied to adaptability and resilience. In a constantly changing world, those who invest in developing their skills and expanding their knowledge are better equipped to handle challenges and seize opportunities. Growth allows individuals to navigate uncertainty with confidence, make informed decisions, and remain competitive in their personal and professional life. Conversely, neglecting personal development can lead to stagnation, missed opportunities, and frustration. By consistently investing in oneself, a person builds a foundation that supports long-term success rather than relying solely on luck or external circumstances. Investing in growth also strengthens mental and emotional capacity. Learning new things stimulates the brain, enhances creativity, and promotes problem-solving abilities. Engaging in challenging experiences, whether intellectual, physical, or emotional, pushes individuals beyond their comfort zones, fostering resilience and self-consciousness. Growth requires persistence and patience, but each challenge faced and each learned adds depth to one's character. Over time, this continuous investment in oneself cultivates a sense of accomplishment, self-reliance, and the ability to handle life's complexities. Finally, investing in growth extends beyond personal benefit. It positively impacts the lives of those around us. As we develop our skills, knowledge, and perspectives, we become more capable of helping, inspiring, and guiding others. Growth encourages a ripple effect where the improvement of one individual can influence families, communities, and even workplaces. By prioritizing growth, we not only enhance our own potential, but also contribute to a culture of learning, progress, and purposeful action. In this way, investing in growth becomes a powerful strategy for creating a meaningful and impactful life. Prioritizing meaningful activities is the practice of deliberately choosing how we spend our time based on long-term value rather than fleeting satisfaction. Life is full of distractions, and without intentional prioritization, we often find ourselves consumed by tasks that offer little personal or professional growth. Meaningful activities are those that contribute to our goals, enrich our relationships, or foster personal development. By focusing on these activities first, we ensure that our energy and time are directed toward pursuits that have lasting impact, rather than being dissipated on trivial or unproductive tasks. Choosing meaningful activities requires clarity and self-centeredness. It is essential to identify what aligns with our values and long-term objectives. Activities that challenge us, push us out of our comfort zones, or promote learning tend to have the greatest impact on personal growth. Equally important are activities that strengthen our relationships or contribute. By evaluating tasks through the lens of meaning and purpose, we can make conscious decisions about what deserves our attention, rather than reacting passively to the demands and distractions of daily life. Prioritizing meaningful activities also improves focus and reduces stress. When we know what truly matters, we can eliminate unnecessary tasks and avoid the mental clutter that comes from trying to do everything at once. This selective focus allows us to dedicate our full attention and energy to high-impact endeavors, resulting in greater efficiency and higher quality outcomes. Moreover, engaging in meaningful work or purposeful tasks brings intrinsic satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment, which reinforces the habit of prioritization and motivates us to continue making intentional choices. Finally, consistently prioritizing meaningful activities transforms the way we experience time. Hours that might otherwise be wasted become opportunities for growth, connection, and contribution. Over time, the cumulative effect of these deliberate choices leads to a life that feels richer, more accomplished, and aligned with personal values. By consciously deciding to invest in meaningful activities, we not only maximize the potential of each day, but also cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment that permeates every aspect of our lives. Focusing on legacy over length means valuing the impact of our actions rather than simply the number of years we live. Life is finite, and while we cannot control its duration, we can influence its depth and significance. Every choice we make, every effort we invest, and every relationship we nurture contributes to the legacy we leave behind. So those who prioritize legacy understand that true fulfillment comes not from accumulating possessions or counting years, but from creating meaning, leaving a positive mark on others, and contributing to something greater than themselves. A legacy is built through intentional, consistent actions over time. It is reflected in the lessons we teach, the kindness we show, and the progress we inspire in others. Even small gestures, when performed with sincerity and purpose, can ripple outward, touching lives in ways we may never fully witness. Legacy-considered individuals often think beyond immediate rewards and personal gain, instead considering how their decisions affect family, community, and future generations. By living with this perspective, every action becomes an opportunity to create lasting value and influence. Focusing on legacy also shifts the way we view challenges and setbacks. Instead of being discouraged by obstacles or temporary failures, we can see them as opportunities to grow, adapt, and demonstrate resilience. The process of striving for meaningful contributions develops character, strengthens resolve, and builds credibility in ways that mere longevity cannot. A life that prioritizes depth over duration, emphasizes purpose, achievement, and integrity, ensuring that even brief lives can leave enduring impressions on the world. Ultimately, embracing legacy over length encourages mindfulness and intentional living. It reminds us to make conscious choices with long-term significance, to invest in relationships, skills, and experiences that matter. It makes life even more. Each day becomes a chance to contribute to a story far greater than ourselves, ensuring that the essence of our lives resonates long after our presence has passed. In the end, life is measured not by the hours we count, but by the moments we create, the growth we achieve, and the impact we leave behind. Time is fleeting, but when we live with purpose, invest in our growth, prioritize meaningful actions, and focus on legacy, every second becomes invaluable. So let us stop merely passing the time and start truly living fully, intentionally, and with a vision that extends far beyond ourselves. Remember, the way we use our time today shapes the life we experience tomorrow and the legacy we leave for generations to come.